Good morning, Namaste Village.
Good morning.
Welcome. What a delight to join. Do you agree?
Yes.
It is such a delight to join with our mighty companions. And you really notice that and feel that when you leave for a little while, don't you? You leave, you go back home, you go wherever you go, and then there's a yearning just to be around those people who are nourished by us and that we nourish, and who are in that frequency or vibrating at that frequency of harmony. We harmonize. And I just wanted to say that because we are blessed. We are so blessed wherever we are in the world to be able to join at such a high level and frequency. And that being said, I wanted to start off today with a poem that Akaldev turned me on to, and I just love this. And it's such a beautiful expression of love for the beloved, for love itself. So I just want you to take a deep breath and just relax and let this be our opening prayer. Oh, beloved, take me. Liberate my soul. Fill me with your love and release me from the two worlds. If I set my heart on anything but you, let fire burn me from the inside. Oh, beloved, take away what I want. Take away what I do. Take away what I need. Take away everything that takes me from you. Isn't that beautiful? Take me away from everything that takes me away from love, from the beloved. So let's hold that in our heart this morning as we share another lesson from Joel Goldsmith. We've moved on to chapter 3 in the Infinite Way now. And what we're going to do this morning is I am going to start things off. I have to skip out a little bit early because I'm going to get some blood work done. And so then Vicky will take over from me, and then Calico will share, and then Calico will kind of close things up, and Ravi will shut off the Zoom. So I think we got it all set. So this is what Joel said that really sparked me this morning as I was reading. The personal sense of I, or identity, is busily engaged in getting, achieving, desiring, accomplishing, accumulating. Whereas our real self, our reality, the truth of who we are, is giving, bestowing, sharing, and blessing. That's how you know the difference. The personal sense of self is the embodiment of all human experiences, most of which are limited and undesirable when you really look at it. But the real self, who you really are, is the embodiment of infinite spiritual ideas and reality and activities, forever expressing itself without limit or restraint. So you choose. Which one sounds better to you? Let's begin with the first part. What we're busily engaged with in the identity. We're always busily engaged in getting, achieving, desiring, accomplishing, accumulating. All of those things, which is why I've in the past talked about using spiritual law to get, to achieve, to accumulate. Let's look, for example, at the law of attraction. I remember when I first, many years ago, when I first saw the movie The Secret, and I had a couple of reactions to it. One was, this is a very well done movie. I like it very much. But the other was, uh-oh. Because it presents spirit, like the object of spirituality is to use it to attract what I don't have, what I want, what I think I need. And that is maybe a baby step into the true experience, not of getting, but giving, not about goods, but goodness. In fact, a quick story, in case you never heard it, that is what inspired me immediately to begin writing the Moses Code. I think I began writing that next day, and ultimately made the movie The Moses Code as well. And I'd been working on the movie for about a year, and we had already about 600 venues set up to show it. And by the time we were done, we had about 900. And it was coming out in about a month. So the movie was finished, and I was happy that it was finished because it was a lot of work and a lot of effort. So I went to LA and I shared it with 3 friends, one of whom was Debbie Ford, and then 2 men who were both filmmakers. And I expected them, you know, after all the work and energy I put into this, I expected them to just jump up at the end and say, wow, that was amazing. Thank you. So if any of you know Debbie, she's not fakely enthusiastic. So when it was over, I turned to her and said, what did you think? She goes, it's all right. All right, that's all. Gosh, I was hoping for more, hoping for a little bit more enthusiasm. And these other 2 men said the same thing. And but then Debbie said, no, it was actually one of the guys said, you have everything you need. Everything is there, but right now it is just all right. He said, I haven't had 2 weeks off for several years, but I have nothing going on for the next 2 weeks. And if you want, I will work with you day and night for the next 2 weeks. And I promise you, we can pull this together. We may need to do some more interviews and re-edit some stuff, but we will pull this together, and I promise it will be great. Do you want to do that? And there was a part of me that just felt like, no, not really. Maybe okay is enough, but it wasn't. And I said yes. And so this man and I, we worked for 2 weeks straight, day and night. By the time we were done, we had literally reshot 70% of the film. In 2 weeks, 100% re-edit, 100% rescore. I mean, it was a new movie. And if you've seen it, by the way, you can see it for free on YouTube. If you just put the Moses Code movie, you can see it there. And when it was finished, I knew this is great. This is deeply impactful. And that's a good story, but the kicker at the end is the fact that the guy who did that with me, his name is Drew Harriet, the director of The Secret. So the whole endeavor began with me, I guess, judging what the lack or the limitations of The Secret. And then the man, because he felt the same thing, he always wanted to take it further. And when we worked together, we did. So I've always liked that. It's funny how judgments can come back around, isn't it? All right, let me get back to this with Joel. All right, here's another little bit from Joel. The real sense of self, with a capital S, lives out from the center of its being, blessing all whom it touches, and is recognized by its selflessness, by its lack of seeking attention, its unselfishness, its lack of seeking reward or any personal aggrandizement. That universal I that stretches out from the center of our being, which is not at all concerned with the personal sense of getting, of achieving, of being noticed. And, you know, for me, that is living into that has been, a gnat right in front of my face, has always been a bit of a challenge when you are writing books and doing things in a public way. But I have always had someone in my life who has been in my mind, a perfect example of what we just read, that awakened I, as opposed to the limited identity I, who has no interest in being out there, known, appreciated, becoming famous, writing books, but just radiates from the center of her being. Doesn't have a website, hardly has an email. And that's Vicky. And I've always really appreciated that about her, because there's no need to do anything but to radiate, to be the light, not to say, look at me, look how bright I am, which is so often what self-aggrandizement or self-promotion does. Look how great I am. Look how well I wrote that book, or how great I did in this, whatever. And it's a very easy trap to fall into. But I personally feel blessed to have had a dear sister who has never really had any interest in that at all, and yet shows up here almost every day. And not only here, but I think she's probably on 2 or 3 of these calls and these classes every single day, just shining and radiating and glowing. So Vicky, I just wanted to publicly thank you for that. And I see that you are in your car, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you now. I'm going to step back and head out to the doctor, but after you, we'll have Calico come on, and then we'll do the prayer protection. So thank you, Vicky. We love you.
I love you. And before you leave, Brother James, I want you to hear this one sentence from Joel. I got it. Well, let's see if I can find it all. You know how that happens, right? Okay, here it is. One sentence. It's a strange thing, but all of human experience is a looking to each other.
Uh-oh. Oops. Hey, Vicky, start that again. You went out. If you can still hear me, try and do that one more time.
Okay, one sentence. And James, I think Joel was pre-channeling you on this one. Here it is. It is a strange thing, but all of human experience is a looking to each other for something. All of spiritual experience is looking to God for everything. Do you like it?
I love it. Looking to the divine for literally everything. Oh, I love it. Not seeking outside ourselves. Perfect beginning. So Vicky, you go ahead and take over. I love you guys.
I will.
Love you guys. I'll be
Love
back
you too.
tomorrow.
Thank you, James. Okay, everybody, here we go. So, you know, for me, it's like all through the years, I've been learning where communication lies and how do we help each other really come into that presence of God and live from there, not just read about it and the rest of it. And of course, Joel, the Course in Miracles, unity things, all of the sacred writings from every tradition all point us to being quiet. And it isn't that it's in the quiet, it's just in not being distracted by the many thoughts we hold that take form outside of us. So the real thing is, of course, letting our mind be quiet. And then the essence is looking within, like when Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is within you, but yea, you are the kingdom of heaven. How does that happen? How do we live into that? And it is a way, and this is like everything else, it doesn't come upon us until we practice it, until we finally stop looking to get approval, understanding, agreement, money, things, anything from anyone. And we just are quiet and we just rest in God. Resting in God communicates much louder, much stronger than all of the trying to convince ourselves or each other of any other teaching or of the teaching even, because then we come really into the experience of it. And it's only when we do it ourselves, we can be inspired by each other. But when we come into somehow either a loss, a health issue, any kind of challenge, and we stop looking outside of ourselves, that doesn't mean we don't follow prompts that direct us to things that may be outside us, medicines and doctors and joinings of whatever kind. But in listening to the prompt, we're listening to the voice of our soul, of spirit, of the light. And that is what has everything. And that's all it means, is we look within for everything by recognizing we already are everything, but let's discover it, let it unfold. And that's the journey we're all on. And it's most fun when we do that together. And when we share a journey and a goal, when we share a purpose together, and those of you guys that are doing the course these days, it's all about purpose and goal, and God is my only goal, and there's nothing else. When that one purpose, it truly joins us. And then we help each other. It's like when I was visiting all my sisters on our West Coast tour, there was nothing but exuberance at seeing each other. And it wasn't because of seeing each other's bodies. It was because of the purpose that we share. We quicken and we light up for each other. It's like two big laser lights when any two come together and join. And then to help each other hold that steadiness of resting within, resting. Karen Palmer today wrote something about stop, drop, and rest. And I thought it was great, because when we rest with God, that means the ego thinking and chattering is not there anymore. We're not investing in it. We're not supporting it anymore. We're resting. And in the rest, grace is, we are open. It's very mechanical. I see it very mechanical. We become open and grace floods us and corrects and harmonizes every step we walk through. The trick is not to have an idea of the outcome, for me, of what it'll look like. Oh, it'll look like my health is better, my relationship is better, this is this and this. That's that law of attraction. Don't look for any result. And what I've experienced is it doesn't matter the result. My joy in because I know being led from within and not outside of me. It doesn't matter what it outside looks like. If my goal is God, then my personal expression of that is the healing of my own mind, that I'm separate from God. And I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know how it will show up, but I trust every obstacle, everything good or seeming bad, to be the gentlest and easiest way for my mind to let go of the belief that I'm separate from God. So I don't look for the outcome outside of me. I stay focused inside. And that's where true communication is too. That's where we communicate. That's why we may never see one another. And when we do, there's an immediate intimacy of exuberance and joy and love, because we've been communicating from soul to soul, sharing that one mind and that one goal. Anyway, Joel's famous for this. He says, go to God for God. Don't go to God to get anything. Don't go to anybody to get. Only go to give. Just go to give. And then that's the cost of getting. Well, the more that I was watching someone teach some prosperity class, and all prosperity is being rich in the presence of God, and in the awareness of it, and trusting it, and enjoying it, and playing with it. Just give of what's been given to us, the love of spirit. Give of ourselves. Give a smile. Give your hand to hold. Give our time. That's what prosperity is. That's what happiness is. Anyway, oh, wait a minute. There's one more. Let me see if I can. This one saying I've had in my bathroom at the house for years. And it's one of the best ones. Okay, and this is it. When you have touched, whoops, where did it go? Wait a minute. Oh, no. It's hard to talk on the phone and do this at the same time. Wait a minute, but I'm going to do it. When you have touched that presence, wait a minute. When you have felt it, you can give up all concern, all worry, all fear for the rest of your life. How's that for an invitation? All of your worries are behind you. You have found Aladdin's lamp. But this is better than Aladdin's lamp because you won't even have to make a wish. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to know what it is you want. You sit in silence and that presence responds and fills everything we think we might ever need. Anyway, that's been on the bathroom wall until we moved. And I think it made the cut. I think I've got it here somewhere. Okay, Calico, over to you, dear.
Hi, honey. It's so good to see you. And thank you so much for this beautiful place to move into my mind. You know, I think what was there for me was when James was talking about The Secret. And I had the same reaction to it when I first watched it. It was like, wow, this is all about attracting more stuff, better stuff, more health, younger looks. You know, I mean, it was all about something is not okay, and I can fix it by attracting something else. And all I can say, and this is kind of the shift with A Course in Miracles, because one of the hardest things about getting sick and really not being able to say that I'm cured is that if I were doing things right, I would be healthy, because that's the law of attraction. If I were doing things right, I'd have the perfect lover. If I were doing things right, I'd have plenty of money. It's basically taking things from not being perfect in this present moment of now. And that's the difference between law of attraction, which is all future-based, and A Course in Miracles, which is very much present moment of now. And it took a lot of work on my part, because there was a lot of agreement that I should get better. And that was real hard to deal with. It's like, and if I don't, does that make me less of a godly person? No. But I had to work through it, because those are my beliefs, that if I did this right, I wouldn't be sick, or I'd have more energy, or whatever. And it's like, and it really, the process was so perfect for getting into this present moment of now. Because if I get even remotely future-based, I'm totally in the swamp of ego. And it's like, I have to stay very present to this moment of now. And it's like, right now, all my needs are taken care of. Right now, I have the absolute perfect body. Right now, all my relationships are absolutely wonderful. Right now. It's not about going into the future and go, well, if I could just resolve this one issue, it would be better. Because that's all ego. That's all law of attraction. And that is not A Course in Miracles. And it's like, in the Course in Miracles removes all guilt by staying in the present moment. Because as soon as I get into something needs to be better, I'm in the clutches of ego. I am completely consumed by fear that somehow right now I'm not okay. And this is it's a deep topic, and I just encourage all of you to just take it on in your mind, because the truth is, there is no death. And if I am worrying about my body in any way, it's too old, it's not fast, it's sick, it's whatever. If I'm focused on my body, I am fearing death. And it's like, and the reality is, once I start forgiving my body for being exactly as it is, and me taking my judgment away from wanting it different, then there's no shame. That's completely peace. It's really seeing this persona called Calico as God sees Calico, which is perfect. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing that needs to improve or change or be altered. But unfortunately, that's not the way I've lived my life. I've lived my life wanting it to be different, better, bigger, whatever. And it's like, and that really is just a bad habit way of thinking. And it's like, it's just to really go into what am I thinking? Because the reality is mind is eternal. And that's why there is no death, because mind is always eternal. The body, yeah, it's a perception. It's one that I put my judgments on, and you can do this in the park. You can do this anywhere where there's people walking around. Just watch people and then see what you think about them. Wow, they're really tall. Well, what does that mean? Really? Nothing. Or, oh my God, I had someone one of my dearest friends at this moment. We had an expression session once, and he said to me directly, he said, how could you have let your body get so fat? And I actually applauded him. I said, thank you for being honest. And I don't see it that way. But thank you for your honesty, because now you can actually have a chance to heal that for yourself. So it's kind of like really play with your mind of how you judge absolutely everything. And as soon as you see it, then you can start going, oh, so who cares that he's, 8 feet, 5 inches? Does it matter? Is he any less of a godly person? Just like, oh, they have terminal cancer. Does that make them any less of a godly person? No, it's just my beliefs about it. And that law of attraction will nail you. That law of attraction will nail you. Because if you want things to be bigger and better and different than what they are now, you'll be seeking that forever. And there's no peace in that forever, ever. So with that being said, Ravi, are you out there? We're going to put up the prayer of protection, because this is where we trust God, period. That's all there is to trust. And that's in the present moment of now, always. Thank you, everybody. And Vicki, I love you all. Okay. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well. Amen, amen, amen. Y punto. So have a